WGC, welcome back to the channel. God bless. Thank you for rocking with your boys. Truly appreciate it. Y'all gotta pardon me for this one. I'm a little late to the party, but look who decided to show up. I ain't even gonna lie. I was really starting to think this one wasn't gonna happen. Then, big shout out to the Wrestling Codes dev team because they came out of nowhere.
Oh my God!
Yeah, something like that. And they did not come alone. They dropped a much needed update showing us what they've been working on along with some actual gameplay footage featuring none other than a WGC legend turned actual professional wrestler, the man they call Chris Danger. My boy really said it wasn't enough for him to make wrestling games content, but he wanted wrestling games to make content about him. I salute that, bro. I wish you all the success in the world. God bless you, bro. But with that being said, WGC, let's work. Real quick, before we get started, I would like to give out some condolences and much respect to the legend Sid Vicious, aka Sycho Sid. We unfortunately lost him in his earthly existence. I remember vividly the first time I even heard of Sid. And it was actually my big brother, man. RIP, love you, bro, miss you. He knew I loved wrestling. And while he wasn't a big fan, he could tolerate it, but everybody else in my family absolutely hated wrestling. But I just remember him coming in my room, and I think I was actually like playing with some wrestling action figures. And he was like, yo, have you heard of that dude, Sid Vicious? He got this move called a power bomb. It's crazy. And then he actually like takes the action figures and like acts out the power bomb. It wasn't until like a week or two later where I actually got to see who he was talking about and actually see Sid on TV and see him perform the power bomb. And I was like, yo, this dude is a problem. So yeah, man, shout out to Sycho Sid. Condolences to his loved ones and his close friends. I am truly praying for your peace and comfort during this time. I also want to send some prayers of peace, love, and comfort to Ross from In the Clutch. He also has his solo channel, Kicking with Ross, where he does a lot of wrestling, live streams, reactions, recaps, reviews. I'm pretty sure if you're a part of the IWC, you know exactly who Ross is. But I say that to say that recently he lost his grandmother, and I'm pretty sure we can all relate in some way, shape, or form that losing family members in any situation is tough. But it is written that God draws near the brokenhearted during times like these. To share a bit of a testimonial with you guys, in less than a year's time, I lost two brothers, an auntie, and my best friend lost his mother, who was like a mother to me as well. And keep in mind, these weren't just some distant relatives, man. All of them were very precious to me and had a big impact on my life in some way, shape, or form. And I truly believe with all my heart that it was God's love, grace, and peace that sustained me. Because you have to know that life don't stop lifing just because you're grieving. A lot of times I feel like we try to fight battles that aren't ours to fight. So the next time you may be facing a difficult situation, try giving it to God, man. But that's just my take on it, man. Let's get back to it. I just wanted to come through and do a quick little breakdown and share some thoughts on some of the things that I noticed. Right off top, I just want to say that I personally feel like, the game looks pretty good. When it comes to the wrestling games or any games for that matter, I have always been gameplay over everything. Graphics are more so the icing on the cake for me. But to reiterate, for the most part, it does look pretty good. They did a great job at capturing the likeness of Chris Danger. The crowd in the arena looks dope, man. The atmosphere, the packed house, you can see they kind of shoulder to shoulder up in there. It just kind of gives off that big fight feel, making the entrance look that much more impressive. Maybe it's just me, but the ring looks huge. Like, y'all let me know for real. Am I tripping? Does the ring not look much bigger than the average ring? But anyway, we finally made it to the main course, which is the gameplay. And right off top, the first thing I noticed is the speed. Everything is definitely moving at a much slower pace than I had imagined. Now, to be fair, this is like an early stage tech demo, so I wouldn't read too much into it. But if this does turn out to be the actual speed of the game, then I hope that they have some options in place to circumvent those default settings and let players tweak the speed and pacing to their liking. Another thing that kind of stood out to me was the impact of the moves. Not gonna lie, man, impact is one of those things where I kind of prefer it to be slightly over-exaggerated, if that makes sense. especially when it comes to like signature and finisher moves, because it just makes things feel a lot more powerful. The move selling was probably one of the biggest standouts for me. I love how the selling is not baked into the animation and making everybody sell the move the exact same. The dev team did confirm on X that the selling animations in the tech demo were tied to weight class. However, in the creation suite, the animations won't be limited to the weight class, just in case you wanted to switch things up. This is a W, man, and truth be told, I love to see this kind of attention to detail. You guys know I've always stood on the idea that selling is a very vital part of professional wrestling, so it's going to be nice to have some variety in that department. Another standout mechanic is the weapon grapples. Weapon usage and interactions are a big part of wrestling as well, especially when it comes to certain match types. Given that the likes of Sandman and RVD are on this roster, I'm really hoping to see some extreme and just over-the-top interactions when it comes to weapons. Who knows, Virtual Basement may finally be the dev team that can give us a legit Van Terminator in a wrestling video game. I think this was a dope trailer that honestly was right on time because, like I said in the beginning, man, people were really starting to doubt that this game even still existed. So this was a much needed drop. Personally, I hope they continue to drop these tech demos because being a gameplay-centric channel, it would give me a lot more to work with in terms of content, especially when it comes to sharing my thoughts and feedback and maybe throwing in some concepts here and there. But final verdict, this was a W drop. And I'm definitely excited to see what Virtual Basement has in store for us, especially in terms of in-ring match mechanics, how the signature and finisher mechanics are going to work. Is there like a momentum system? Are there pro wrestling elements like chain wrestling and limb damage? Hoping to see something from the submission system. I mean, maybe you guys can be the ones to finally do that justice as well. Different match types. So there's still a lot of ground to cover, but I do salute you guys for jumping into the wrestling game space and giving the wrestling games community not only a different perspective on pro wrestling, but giving us more viable options to experience. Trust me, it is deeply appreciated. But that's just my take on things. WGC, y'all know what to do, man. Comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of the Wrestling Code's latest drop. What are you most excited for from this game? And what do you hope to see in the near future? As always, thank y'all for checking out the content. It is truly appreciated. If you rock with it, man, go ahead and leave a thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not already. Love y'all. All glory to God. Remember to always try to be a blessing to somebody. Later, WGC. Yay.